Hello, everybody. My name is Stephen Rowe, and I work at the Leadership Institute. Hey, there we go.
Got some fans over here.
We at the Leadership Institute try every single day to train as many conservative and liberty-minded people as possible, and we do it in all 50 states and are doing our best to equip you with the skills necessary to succeed, because we know that you have to learn how to win, and we'll make it happen.
Speaking of journalism, exposing the campus environment,
Absolutely.
You're a contributor at Campus Reform. Talk to us a little bit about some of the stories and the most outrageous stories that you've had to write.
Yeah, absolutely. At the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, we expose liberal bias and abuse on college campuses across this entire country. And there was just a great plethora amount of crazy instances that are happening. For example, at UCF, they had a liberal fight club, a literal fight club, where they were training leftists and progressives to learn how to fight, and they specifically didn't allow Republican and conservative students into this fight club. And I'll leave it to your imagination.
Can you define fight club?
Yeah, well, the first rule is you don't talk about fight club.
Right, we don't talk about it. But I'm going to make you talk about fight club.
Exactly. And so they had a series of webinars and also classes where they were literally bringing instructors, teaching them how to fight so that they potentially could be the next Antifa or the next by any means necessary. But we also saw instances, it happens all the way from Middlebury to Berkeley. And even more so, there was one recently last week at DePaul when a Jesuit Catholic university wouldn't allow Steven Crowder to speak on their college campus. This is a man who is pro-life and pro-family, and this supposedly Catholic school will not allow him to speak. Totally ridiculous.
Yeah, conservative students who aren't white
manage
the accusations of being an Uncle Tom or being a betrayal to your race on college campuses, because that's a very real thing that you have to deal with.
Oh, absolutely. It's a tough climate out there, especially for minority conservatives. And even when you're trying to convert people who may be in the minority, but kind of think the same way that we do, but are afraid to stand up and actually advocate for our beliefs, it has to be a very careful conversation. And when you're talking to these individuals, I think one of the best things you can do is just ask them questions and get them to realize that freedom is a beautiful thing. Ask them, hey, are you making more money right now? And hey, do you enjoy being able to speak? Do you appreciate freedom of speech? And what you're essentially doing is essentially almost inceptioning the idea of freedom into their ideas without going to them saying, hey, like with your big MAGA hat, and I have one, so it's, I have one. But when you're talking to these individuals, you want to almost plant the seed of liberty into their minds, and then we can kind of push them to the right way from there and get them to join fantastic student organizations like many of them on this stage right now.
Planting the seed of liberty, I like that a lot.
I think it's so important that we have conservative college students running for these positions, just like Marcus here, because you control millions of student fees and of dollars that you've paid with your college tuition, and it's so important that we are being the guide of those student fees and hopefully lowering them as much as possible so college is more affordable, because every time they have a liberal student body president, they always say, we could just use $2 more, $4 more.
Any dollar, a penny, any of it, that would be great. Your final word.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's one of the best things that we're doing right now to address this problem, and let's be solution-oriented here. That's the Leadership Institute's Normandy Coalition, which is a group comprised of many people in this room and on this stage right now. We are actively taking offensive strategies to college campuses. In 2017, we hosted 862 conservative and liberty-minded speakers on over 350 college campuses, because we know that if liberal professors and school administrators won't spread the conservative message, then we will.
And you will.
Absolutely.
Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.
Have an awesome CPAC.
Thank you.